Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night. This fall spring is going to crash on us this weekend. I don't know if you've been paying attention to some of those Facebook posts, but we're going right back to winter. So get some of those outdoor projects done while you can. It's going to be cool again tomorrow. I think we're looking at the same situation. A lot of clouds and temperatures only in the mid 60s. We did warm up into the upper 60s, close to 70 today, but there's just something about the clouds today that they got thicker as the day wore on. And tomorrow we might see a little bit of drizzle. Of course, we had a lot of wind out there today, too. Nothing like what they're seeing out in western Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Horrible fires out there. And they've even had those fire tornadoes in there, just the movement of these fires. These fires are like tracking storms on radar. In fact, you can see the smoke plumes, but they are literally, the fire itself moves at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. So a lot of evacuations out there. We'll have a little bit more on that coming up tonight on WFF 40 News at 10. Let's get in here and talk about your weather. Start with the next 12 hours. A steady temperature drop tonight. We're going to level off to about 58 in most areas for the overnight low. It'll be cloudy throughout the day tomorrow. Again, I don't anticipate a big warm-up. Temperatures across the state of Alabama not really changing a whole lot. 61 in Florence. It's actually warmer in Florence than it is in Evergreen, and it's probably clear. They probably have a clear sky. So these clouds, again, they act like a blanket at night, especially in the wintertime. And they keep us a little bit warmer. You can see the colder cloud tops there, colder mountaintops there on the Appalachian Trail. But you see a lot of warmth all the way up. We've got a powerful storm system that's over California. And it's just going to, think of it like a bicycle wheel. In the middle of that bicycle wheel, you've got, the hub, but that's the area of low pressure. And the spokes around it, those are going to be areas of low pressure that just kind of slide out, and they will, we'll call it perturbate. They'll move across these boundaries, and what that does is it'll bring us occasional rain, especially Friday morning. Then we get a break Friday afternoon, and then Friday night into Saturday morning, we get more rain. So it's going to come probably at least 2 little waves, maybe 3. So we'll watch that. But again, the coldest air is up across the Great Lakes, and that's headed back south. Not a whole lot of rain going on the radar. Again, we just have clouds. Lots of clouds. A lot of times when you get a big warm-up this time of year, usually it comes with wind and clouds. You can see one of these waves of low pressure kind of spinning up in South Dakota, North Dakota right there. And on the northern edge of that comma, that's where they're having snow tonight in that colder air. You can also see the jet stream just off the coast of California and Oregon dropping due south. So those are really strong winds. And then on the southern part of that, you've got this fetch of moisture that goes all the way out to the Hawaiian Islands. So that's where the moisture connection is. Also notice that kind of copper-colored area there in Kansas, western Kansas, southeastern Oklahoma. That's likely sinking air, very dry air, and those winds are gusting over 60 miles per hour, and that's feeding, unfortunately, those wildfires out there tonight. A lot of people I've seen, how do they form? Well, sometimes you get power lines that come down in the wind. And western Kansas is just a tinderbox right now. I mean, it's dry. It's just not the growing season. Of course, sure, they've got some red winter wheat that's not covered up in snow. Again, that's one thing that helps the wheat in those areas of the country is when you get snow on top of it, it insulates it. It also protects things from fire. But, man, this warm-up has done a number. Here's your forecast tomorrow. We're looking at southerly winds, may gust to 15. Temperatures around 64. So we're not expecting a huge warm-up tomorrow. But, hey, it's better than what's coming. It's going to be a good 20 degrees colder by the time we get to Sunday. But Thursday, we're still holding out hope for mid-70s. This is the potential rainfall. This will be very late, probably after midnight Thursday night through Saturday evening. And it's not going to rain all day Friday. It's not going to rain all day Saturday. We'll get to that in the next graphic. What we're going to see is that cold front start to move in very early Friday morning. And I think really what's going to happen here is this front's coming in. It's going to trigger showers and some thunderstorms, but I don't expect any severe weather from this. And then it's the boundary's going to kind of coast and die out and stall. So that's why you'll see the temperatures warm up during the afternoon as we get into even Friday afternoon. We're shooting possibly hitting 70, but going to be a little pessimistic and go about 65. Notice a batch of rain kind of drifts off to our south while a new one forms as you get south of Memphis. So there's our break. Most of the afternoon Friday dry. Friday evening early on will be dry. But as you can see by 10, 11 o'clock, this is midnight into early Saturday morning, the rain comes back and a few thunderstorms possible. But notice how Saturday, most of the rain's in the morning. I don't see any afternoon rain. We may get some sunshine and might sneak back up to 70 Saturday afternoon ahead of the main cold front that will be moving into Kentucky during the afternoon hours Saturday. And you can see the clouds associated with the main front as it starts to move into the shoals right around sunset. So here's your 10-day forecast. 64 tomorrow, 76 Thursday, close to 70 Friday. And I'm pessimistic on Saturday. It's a toss-up right now between, say, 63 degrees and 70. It's very possible. But one thing that just continues to trend down is Sunday, Monday, with highs in the 40s. Wind chill will be in the mid-20s Sunday morning. Winds out of the north gusting over 20 miles an hour. And the actual temperatures get in the mid-20s. The good thing about this time of year is we typically don't have an outbreak of Arctic air that lasts more than 4 or 5 days. And this blast of cold air is only going to last 3. And by next Thursday, we're back up to 67. And maybe we'll have one weekend that doesn't have rain with it. Going to take a quick break. Then we'll talk about aches and pains. All right, time is up on that break. Let's talk 10-day forecast real quick for those of you just tuning in. Again, I'm going to kind of go over what I just talked about, but very briefly in one graphic. We may have some drizzle tomorrow. It's not going to be an all-day thing, but I think because of the thick cloud cover, kind of like today, the temperatures will struggle to hit 70. If we do, that'll be a bonus, but I'm going to go about 64, maybe 65, and then we do slingshot up to 76 Thursday. Thursday's going to be a muggy day, and it's overnight Thursday night into Friday. A front moves in, but it doesn't quite make it all the way through the area. It kind of falls apart, and that's why we just have rain chance in the morning Friday. Friday evening, very late, we've got more rain coming in. And maybe some thunderstorms. Again, we could see a thunderstorm or two early Friday morning, too. And it'll be leftovers from what happens farther to the north. I don't anticipate any severe weather. And then Saturday, mainly Saturday morning, we'll see the boundary shift to the south. Saturday's tricky because we could either hit 70 degrees or 63. I would rather prepare you for 63 and us get 70 because there's less of a letdown because if it turns out to be a nicer day than what we forecast, we usually don't get too many complaints. But, man, if we're going 70 and we only hit 60, the complaint box is filled up. As we go into a lot of complaints coming Sunday and Monday, colder weather coming back, another freeze, and I hope you didn't plant. I haven't seen any of the spring plants out yet at any of the big box stores, and I wouldn't expect it yet. Usually you got to go to April 15th before you're really safe. I know we've been warmer in springs lately. The pollen count, that is high too, and a lot of that due to those strong gusty winds. So I mentioned pollen count is high. Aches and pains are going up. We got fibromyalgia issues on both sides of this graphic here. Sinus pressure is going to increase because the humidity is increasing, the wind's increasing, and we've got rain coming. And the migraines will probably come. I got 2 L's on that graphic. That's those lobes of low pressure that are going to go along that frontal boundary. And notice the yellow line there, that's the pressure, and it's going to start rising rapidly as we get into Saturday night, Sunday morning. And so that, again, will trigger some arthritis and, again, migraines. So just a heads up. It's kind of the aches and pains season as spring's trying to move in. and winter evicts it about every 4 or 5 days. I appreciate you guys tuning in here on this Tuesday night. The latest forecast coming up tonight at 10. Again, some drizzle possible tomorrow, but I don't think you're going to need an umbrella for it. You guys take care. Appreciate you tuning in.